is up, everybody? My name is Eric. I'm that one guy. We're out here on the highway today here in near Roseville, just entering Sacramento, California. I like to call this area of California Northern California, but sometimes I get flack because those people who live like in the Redding, like Williams, Calusa, Chico area, that is definitely Northern California, but we definitely call ourselves here in Sacramento area, Northern California, because we're also not Bay Area, California, which I've heard some people say about Sacramento, which is strange to me. But we're out here riding on the highway. It's a beautiful summer day, and I say beautiful because if you look at the air temperature today, it's 91 degrees. This is midday summer Northern California in July, mid-July, which usually where you'll be looking at 100 degrees. And we were in 100 degrees last week. But lucky for me on this ride today, it's barely 90 degrees. And it's beautiful. There's a bit of breeze. And I'm a fair weather rider, so this is my kind of ride. But actually I have some a topic to discuss today, and it's as we're out here on the road and we're seeing all kinds of technology out on the road. I can see that car had its blind spot monitor light up as I passed by. Even on the far left, it still noticed that I was there. So we've got all kinds of technology getting baked into cars, even in the motorcycles. I rode the Indian Chieftain Limited a few months ago. And that bike has a blind spot monitoring and also tailgate warning for someone who was following too close. So we're seeing all this technology getting baked into motorcycles, and we're seeing the kind of what I want to call it stalling, or a little bit of we'll call it a plateau of interest and of technology in electric motorcycles. Now you see electric cars everywhere. I say that, I mean, basically everywhere you look, you're going to find a Tesla, you're going to find a Kia, you're going to find a Ford Mustang. There's a Tesla over there, Mustang Mach-E. Electric cars are found in abundance now, especially here in Northern California. But what I've seen in the last decade or so with electric motorcycles is that their popularity, their ability to sell, companies wanting to get in on electric motorcycles is few and far between. It feels a little bit the way the Nissan Leaf, when the Nissan Leaf seemed to be the only electric car available to buy like in mass at just a lot. It was that way for a long time, and I feel like that's where we are with electric bikes. I feel like we have the Livewire and Zero, which is kind of the Tesla of electric bikes, because they've been around for a long time. They've seen a few iterations, but SRF and SRS has kind of been the same for a long while. So not a whole lot of innovation from Zero, which is one of the first companies in on it and still around. Seems to be doing well. But there's companies like Energica, that's an Italian electric bike company that I thought had a quality motorcycle. It's pricey. Brand new, you're looking at over $20,000 for an Energica, which had the longest range. So you would think people who were thinking, oh, I'll pay a little bit more for a longer range electric bike. Not the case. I mean, I thought Energica was a nice looking bike. It seemed to have all the things in an electric bike that you would want, and still they went out of business. And talking about Harley Davidson kind of separating itself from the company Livewire, I think that was actually a good choice, because the crossover of people who ride Harley Davidsons and the people who want an electric bike, I don't see that crossover. And so maybe the decision there wasn't necessarily for Harley to say, we don't want to be associated with this, and more so the company saying, look, we're going to sell more Livewires if we make it its own company. And so probably a smart decision there. And the big reason why I bring it up now is because just test rode the Can-Am Pulse and the Can-Am Origin. Can-Am, a company that has been making motorsport vehicles for a long time, used to make dirt bikes way back in the 70s and then all the way through like 87. And but fizzled out. I don't know the history, but I kind of envisioned the Can-Am kind of fizzling out the way Buell did. But the parent company, I think it's BRP. That company has been around for a long time, and they've continued to make not just motorsport vehicles, but they're big in the development and the engineering of airplane engines and jet engines. So a company with a strong foundation that decided to release electric motorcycles in the Pulse and the Origin, and this is just their first iteration, really speaking with the people who are out there demoing the vehicles, talking about some of the things that might be coming up, something as simple as turn signal, self-canceling turn signals. But the fact that they're saying that those kinds of things could be forthcoming means that they're forward thinking. They're thinking that there will be another version of the Pulse and the Origin. I really enjoyed my time on both of those bikes, be it a short time on the bikes. I thought they were as capable and as visually appealing as all of the rest of the choices that are available as far as electric motorcycles go. Really, my favorite looking electric motorcycles are really the Livewire S2. It comes in a few different iterations, like a cafe kind of style, a different sportier looking version. Anyway, that's kind of, to me, is like the standard for which the look of an electric bike can reach. But what Can-Am's done is taken a smaller battery, made it liquid cooled. So they've innovated a technology that is seeming to be an air-cooled. There was not a reason to go with a liquid-cooled electric motorcycle. But the reason that they've done this was for charge times, and also for battery range. So when you're air cooling the motor and you're air cooling the battery, what's going to happen is that the bike doesn't have to cool down to start charging. So let's say you're out on the road and you're going for a little bit longer of a ride, and you need to charge really quick. When I say really quick, it goes from 20 to 80% in about 50 minutes. That's 50 minutes. And so that's really quick, from 20 to 80. But what happens is that they're able to do the quick charge times because typically on an air-cooled electric motorcycle, the bike's got to cool down before it can start charging. And so you've taken that out of the picture. And for me, it's like that's a thoughtful thing that they did, and something that they didn't do. But what they were able to do was take a smaller battery, get more range out of it, get a quicker charge time, and that's a good step in the right direction. Because for me, when I think about getting an electric motorcycle, which I've considered a whole bunch of times, before I bought this bike, I was actually looking at an Energica, which I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because they've gone out of business since. But for me, the thought of like the fastest charge times were like 90 minutes to go from to get like 100 miles of range. That's just too long. That's too long to wait. Like, if I want to stop to get something to eat and to charge my battery, I don't want to wait an hour and a half. I want to wait an hour at the max. And to go from 20 to 80% in 50 minutes is a reasonable amount of time. Now, granted, on the highway, I think you're probably going to max out around 60 miles, which here in the Sacramento area, if you're going to go from Sacramento, the farthest you can get 60 miles is like Napa or Vallejo. That's how far you're going to be able to get on a single charge. And that's going from 0 to 100% down to 0%. So really, realistically, you're looking from going about Sacramento to Fairfield and then having to charge for another 50 minutes to get you another 80% of battery, which is probably going to be like 40 miles. So for me, it's just, the tech is just not there yet. If I've got company's ear, which, who knows, I've got 10,000 subscribers. I'm not a big commercial channel, so I don't see sponsors on my channel or sponsored videos. For me, what I'm looking at is charge time. We've got to get that charge time to go from 20 to 80% in less than 45 minutes. Less than 45 minutes. If you can do it in 35 minutes, that would be ideal. 35 minutes to charge from 20 to 80. That's and a good time. Now, if you're gonna get it down lower, awesome. I'm hoping that there's technology coming that can make that possible. But the other thing, and probably the bigger thing for me, is the range. I'm okay with an electric bike weighing the same as a bike, as a standard ICE internal combustion engine motorcycle. If my electric bike has got to weigh 500 pounds for me to get a battery that's going to take me 100 miles on the highway, then again, that's an ideal situation. So get me 100 miles of range on the highway, give me 20 to 80% charge in less than 45 minutes, and then you've really caught my eye. Now the problem here is, I can already see it coming, is a bike that's capable of doing all of those things, being around 500 pounds, but then also costing like $25,000, like the Energicas did. They're around that range for a brand new bike. Now, granted, there are incentives, electric rebates that you can get depending on where you live, but I don't want to have to count on those rebates and have to do that like with a tax credit and get it back the next year in order to get down below in the range of, like, I want to say like brand new, like $15,000-$16,000 for a bike that charges 20 to 80% in less than 45 minutes and can give me 100 miles of range on the highway at the $16,000 range. And again, if you can go lower in price, awesome. Those are my asks for those electric motorcycle companies. Now tell me, if you're watching this video, then you care. Is that good enough for you? Tell me in the comments, what are your standards? Because if we can get some attention, or get the attention of these manufacturing companies, these motorcycle companies that are considering making electric bikes, this is my ask. Now put your ask in the comments, and put your wants, your requests in the comments. Yeah, get your ass in the comments too. So yeah, make sure that you put them in the comments so we can get the attention of the people who might be interested in making an electric bike that can meet all of those requirements. And let's see if we can get there. Let's put it this way: meet me those requirements. Also, it's gotta look good, right? I think it's okay to look weird or odd or futuristic. I like that, but don't be ugly. Don't give me a nose. Actually, cyber truck-ish looking motorcycle, I actually think could look cool because it's not so massive. But yeah, make sure you get a good designer too. All right, that's all I'm asking. That should be pretty easy, right? All right, guys, if you like this video, if you found it interesting, or just enjoyed coming along for the ride, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. Everybody, if you're out there riding, please be safe. Be kind to one another. My name is Eric. I'm that one guy, and I am out.